Welcome to the MarQuo B Show. Our guest today is Vancouver hip-hop artist Junk. Let's talk about music and get to know this amazing artist.
I've been making music since I was like 8 or 9 years old. You know, my dad's a musician and just playing drums, trumpet, writing, and recording in my own little...
At this age, you're living in Germany.
No. I moved to Canada and was 8 or 9 years old. So I started really making music when I moved to Canada first. You know, I was like, couldn't speak English. So I was just, my mom gave me a little 2 tape deck cassette player from Hitachi where you could press record and play. And then I had a little Yamaha keyboard where I could like make a drum beat, not record it, just do it live and like rap into the tape machine. And basically I was just experimenting with stuff like that. So always just like whatever. And I did music with my dad when I'd go visit him back in Italy. He's in a rock band and we just like record me singing or whatever, strumming the guitar, hitting the drums.
Well, this is amazing, Mila. You're actually learning how to become a hip-hop artist while you're learning how to speak English.
100%, man. NWA and Wu-Tang is how I learned how to speak English. Hence, my first words were just all super offensive words.
Before we interview Junk, we got the chance to see him perform at the record release party celebrating his new album, Audio Heroine. An amazing opportunity to be part of the local hip-hop scene.
You know, rap started as competitively, you know what I mean? As we know, Africa Bombata, all that, like, you know, the Rocksteady crew, like, we don't need to kill each other to see who's boss. We can out-rap each other and just outperform each other. That's how it started. So
as an embellishment, it was more embellishing than battling.
And b-boying too, you know? It was, instead of a knife in your gut, I'm going to do a crazy head spin right now, you know what I mean? And pop and lock and just murder your crew kind of thing, like, you know, metaphorically or whatever, or just physically with some cool art. So I think that what it did to me is give me the credibility of, whoa, this guy is really like a writer's MC, you know what I mean? This guy can really write, and he's really honing the craft of like lyricism, because that's what battling does. It makes you hone the craft of lyricism, of punchlines, metaphors, just making you really use the words in a very poignant attack mode kind of thing. So it just gave me more credibility and you know, a little bit of fear in upcoming opponents or whatever, or people that don't do that kind of thing, like, whoa, you know, this guy's serious. And not just me, everybody that does that stuff. You got to respect them to a certain level, because you're also, by doing that, you're also putting yourself out there for anything that anyone knows of you, it can come back at you, you know? So you got to have some balls basically to do that stuff. And it's definitely helped me get some credibility is the word I can get. Yeah, for sure.
Let's talk about Strictly Cypher.
For about 5 years, I was running a Cypher workshop, basically, where it's called Strictly Cypher. We started at Cartem's Donuts. Moved around. I had to stop for a bit just because I'm just extremely busy with stuff.
Explain that a little bit. That is also a battle rap.
No, zero battle rap. That's just a stand in a circle, 20, 30, 15 people of all different levels of rap here in Vancouver, and it's just off the head. It's improv rap, basically.
Is battle not allowed?
No battles. No, because it's more like a building. Like, oh, you just started rapping? Cool, man. You know, if I come in there and I just annihilate some kid, he'll never want to rap again. Like, oh my God, like he's shaking. You know what I mean? It's like, that's it.
Right.
Which is cool too, but those situations already happen in the battle rap scene, and it doesn't matter. So this one's just about getting your testing your skill with other MCs from Vancouver and just like building. And honestly, in those 5 years, oh my God, man, I've seen so much improvement. And that was a huge scene builder as well, the Strictly Cypher. Like I've really seen some.
This is something that you still do.
I've just stopped it like a few weeks ago.
Okay.
I have so much work going on and just so much on my plate right now that I just can't manage to keep it going for a while. But I'll bring it back in 2019. But I was doing it for about 5 years there. So
so people that are just up and coming that maybe don't know about this.
So that was the segue. I was just saying, my brother, he came to some of these, and producers come, you know, they play their beats, we rap over them, we hang out, we smoke some weed and drink some beers, talk, blah, blah, blah. And then, you know, naturally, if I'm throwing an event and there's 40 people in the scene that come out, my brother's there, producers there, oh, you made this beat? Oh, cool, give me your email, blah, blah, blah. So they chop it up, and it's just like an organic thing. So it's just providing opportunities and little, again, creating a scene so people can hang out and, you know, just actually talk to one another on a human level as opposed to only social media, right? Put a face to the name. And it just, you know, just come to these little open mic nights, my cypher nights that I was having. The battles are good to go to, and just hip hop shows are good to go to. You know what I mean?
Let's talk about social media and how to best use it to connect to a current and future audience.
There is no better way to promote your stuff than just online. You know what I mean? Spotify is just God, basically. YouTube and Spotify and Facebook. Those are huge platforms for me, the biggest for me.
Right. Well, you're like just hitting some really amazing numbers.
Yeah, I mean, I'm no, you know, I just compare, like, if you compare yourself to the guy that's bigger than you, you're always just going to feel depressed.
For sure.
But I compare myself to what I did last year, or like just to myself. Like I think I'm at almost like 44,000 streams on monthly listeners on Spotify, which is really good for me. You know, I charted at 60th on the Canadian iTunes charts on this album, and that's not hip hop. That's just Canadian iTunes charts. I was under like the Deadpool soundtrack for a week or something, so that was cool. But yeah, the numbers they're definitely better than any numbers I've ever done, and that's all independently, you know, with no push. But I must say, being on Stealth Bomb and having worked with Snack and having toured with them is obviously catapulted me to a higher. Like, I don't think I would have reached those numbers without doing that, you know what I mean? So that was laying groundwork, obviously. Everything I do in the past is all, you know, why. Like, the reason where I'm at is because of what I did prior, obviously. And that's just, I think that's with everybody. But so I don't want to be like, I did this all on my own. Like, yeah, I did finance the entire record, recorded, mixed, and did all that stuff, you know, all under my control, and wrote it. But, getting to the platform to get those type of numbers was I was still definitely being helped by the previous label situation, Stealth Bomb and whatnot. So
one of the ways of building an audience is to go on tour. Sometimes that can mean building it one fan at a time.
I stand in the front row and watch all the openers from every city. Even when there's not a soul in there. Like, I'll be the only person in the front row. I'll do sound check, set up my merch, and then watch all the openers, even if there's 8. Stand front row, give them all love and daps. And that's just like a technique of like that's my fan base. It's like, yo, this dude watched your entire set, bought our CD, and he's on tour. You know what I mean? And like, I do that genuinely because I've been where those guys are, you know what I mean? It's like, man, have one person support you like that, it means the world. Like, it does. So, why not? People have done that for me. I've always appreciated the 3 or 4 or 6 people in the front row, like when there was just like, oh my God, the sound is trash. So I'm just that guy now. And that's how you get to know the people too. Like, you don't know who that guy might be in 5 years, right? So just show love to everybody, and that's what I do. But yeah, I don't know if it's like that in other cities. I don't know. All I know is that the Vancouver's growing, man. The Vancouver hip hop scene is definitely growing. I mean, even MarQuo's, like, I went to his show at Harbour Event Center the other night. I mean, he's from Surrey originally, but you know, it's like whatever, Vancouver. And there was 1,000 people in there. It was insane.
Wow.
He's insane, man. That guy's killing it right now so hard. Like, MarQuo's is definitely, doing some insane numbers. So there's hope, man. Like, actually, Kyle Kraft, who's like co-started Battle Axe Records with like, you know, Swollen and Mad Child and whatnot. He was there. I work with him, you know, on some industry things. He said that was the first time that an artist from Vancouver brought out more than 1,000 people in Vancouver since Swollen in like 1997, 96. That was the first time that's happened. And like, I'm quite certain that he's just going to keep growing. Like, it was crazy.
What is up and coming for you? What are you excited and inspired to do next?
Take this time to be creative and just create a pile of new content, which is kind of hard to do from the road. I mean, I write when I'm on the road. I'm always writing and just thinking of ideas, but to really hit the studio and just create an onslaught of like a plethora of content is what I have right now. I have so much music that I'm sitting on. Like, Audio Heroin I have so much music still beyond that, but that's what I want to do. I just want to create content, release nonstop, and just raise the value, and in the meantime work on my new set, which I've been doing, you know, just rehearse and instill new things. And then but yeah, I'll be touring before 2019. I'm going to definitely be hitting a tour and heavy in 2019. Like, that's what I'm working on right now, is coming out heavy heavy amount of touring.
So the goal here is to build even a bigger audience and
bigger audience, content building, more music, more catalog, add to the catalog kind of thing, and then come out swinging.
Being an independent artist demands wearing lots of hats and multitasking many different jobs. What is a typical day of work for Jung?
No, I'm always in the office working, emails, figuring out things, strategizing, planning, talking to, whatever. There's so much to it, man. Like, trying to get onto curated playlists, emailing the world, blah, 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 all that stuff. And creating content at the same time, running my online store, doing my merch, sending out packages, whatever, pitching ideas to new people, new businesses, talking to sponsors. Yeah, that's basically what I do every day.
And for you, an up-and-coming artist, there's no handbook for this. So you didn't.
No.
This is not something. This is something you created yourself. You just put your head down and worked your ass off.
Man, I've been really doing, like, in the last 2-3 years, it's really been where I'm making some money. I'm not rich by no means, not even close, but where it's like it's profitable, and I'm making the money I make. I also reinvest into myself. I don't even want to tell you the number of money I put into this album. It's ridiculous. But yeah, anyways, so I'm able to do that through music, and it just kind of, no, I have no idea. I've been doing it for a long time, man. I've been rapping since I was 13, 12 years old, so there is no handbook. It's just kind of teach yourself and see where you go. And I'm still learning every day.
Thank you so much to Jung. It has been an honor. One last question. Share with us the value of learning how to freestyle. How vital is it?
Freestyling, it's not for everyone, but I highly recommend it, that if you're an upcoming rapper, you should just even do it. Just get that natural energy flowing, like, from your heart, from your chest. Just get it out there, man, because that's the real, raw thing that you just can't capture always. But if you have that ability, I feel like it's real. You know what I mean? It's like it's to me, it's an integral part of being an MC, is being able to freestyle.
Please see all the links that we have posted and get to know how amazing Jung's music and videos are. Please share this podcast and help us grow with each artist.